I think when it comes to dreams and goals and trying to achieve something, nobody knows the hurt of what it is to have tried and tried and tried more than a Forex retail trader. I really want to start my discussion on that. Because what happens is other people, they can have dreams and goals and things like that, and it hurts. But I think for a retail trader, you suffer from the isolation of having learned how to trade on your own. You're trying to figure things out on your own. You're taking trades, and here's the deal. A person who may fail in a restaurant business, they may try and it takes them a while before they figure out that they're failing at it. But for a retail trader, you can start trading today and blow your account by this evening by taking multiple trades, and you'll feel the pain of your failure. And that thing begins to stalk and haunt you. And especially if you were doing it because you're trying to get financial freedom from a crisis situation that you were already in. Now the Forex market comes along and promises you all this success and all these different things, along with other people who say they can help you do XYZ and da da da. And you come forward with your dreams, goals, and passions, and you walk away wounded. I think nobody hurts more than a Forex trader when it comes to being an entrepreneur. I could be wrong, but I have done restaurants, daycares, many network marketing companies. I've done many, many different things, real estate, you name it. I've probably done it in many different scenarios here or there. But when it comes to the markets and it comes to you bringing what you hope to be your financial savior to the world, of your world of crisis that you're already in, I think nobody knows more about pain and hurt and failure and shattered dreams than the Forex retail trader. Are you understanding what I'm saying? I'm going to give you a gift today because, and please grab something to write with because I'm going to walk you through this process, how to get, I'm telling you where you may be at, but I'm going to also walk you through on how to get out of it. Okay. This is a critical message. I really wish I would have heard this years and years and years ago. It would have saved me years of headache and pain in the Forex arena and in my personal life. It would have saved me years had somebody just simply shared this message with me that I'm going to share with you today. I think for some of you guys who's tuned in today, this is a timely message for wherever you are in your life. I think this is a moment of decision. I think this is a moment for you to be able to realize, hey, is this where I'm at? And is he going to share some steps that really is going to help me because I'm struggling on the inside and I haven't told anybody about it. I'm suffering alone and I haven't been able to voice where I'm at. I've cried, excuse me, I have cried in the middle of the night, but there was nobody who can understand the tears that have fallen from my eyes. I have tried and tried and tried. I've studied and I studied and I studied, and yet destruction keeps finding me. Am I just doomed to be a failure, or what's going on? Why do I see other people succeed and me constantly failing? These are the questions that the Forex trader talks to themselves about, but they don't say anything to anybody. They put on a masked, pretend smile on their face like a woman putting on makeup on her face. And you pretend like everything's okay. When you and I both know sometimes it's not. And so today I'm going to share this with you. So write some notes. I hope that this blesses you. I'm going to share what happened to me so that I can hope to walk you through you. Here's the deal. We're going to call this tips for getting past the hurt of not reaching your dreams and goals. That's what we're going to title it. Tips for getting past the hurt of not reaching your dreams and goals. Okay? When I was going through mine, here's what happened with me. Long before Forex even came along, or I even knew what a Forex market was. I had originally started my life as a teenager. I had started as a family man, and I was trying to do all these different things, and I was broke, and I was on welfare, and I was getting, the government cheese and butter and the WIC and all those different things, and, the vouchers to feed my family. I didn't have anything, but I had a dream in my head of reaching my goals. I had a dream in my head. I will never forget. Let me share this with you guys. I will never forget. I will never forget. Ever. I will never forget. I was so broken. I was standing in line in the middle of town where they was having people line up to get free government cheese and butter. That was back in the day when the government used to give free cheese and butter. And I was so broke, I didn't have nothing. So I had to go stand in that line and humble myself and stand in that line with waiting my turn to be served to get some free government cheese and butter to take home to feed my family, my young family. My kids were little and I was broke. And I'll never forget, I stood in the line and I watched all them people talking and they were just having conversations with each other like it was just a regular thing for them. And I will never forget, I stood in that line and I didn't want to talk to nobody because I said, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. See, on that day, I was making a summation that I may be here now, but I will not always be here because I don't belong here. Just because my circumstances said that I'm here, it didn't mean that I, in my mind, agreed with that. I didn't belong in that line. It was just temporary. And I made a commitment that I was going to figure it out. And so I went from welfare and I started going back to what my daddy had taught me about real estate and how to look at properties and this and that. And I began to just follow the steps and the process. And slowly but surely, it took a couple of years, but eventually in my late 20s, I was able to retire myself from work. And I was able to quit my job and I went into retirement for over a decade. And I never stood in that line again. I will never forget that. I remember during that process, I used to go visit neighborhoods where they were building new homes, that new construction homes. And I used to wait till the builders were done and I would walk in to those framings while they were framing the homes, and I would look at how they would frame the houses and I would look at how they did wiring and I would look at how they were doing roofing. And I would walk up those little wooden steps before there was any sheetrock or anything that the contractors never knew I was there, but I would always go. And that was my normal routine. That was my hobby, to go into these neighborhoods where they were building new homes. And I would go through there and just walk through these properties and look with a dream in my head saying, one day it's going to be me. And you fast forward several years later, not only did I build one home, I built myself multiple homes. I never went to school for construction, but I end up designing my own home, multiple homes. And then others followed me, friends and family followed me, and I end up designing their homes and working with their builders as well. Some of the largest builders in the United States, I've worked with them on building homes for other people, and I designed and worked from the blueprints, and I never went to school for it. How did I learn that? Because back in the day when I had nothing and I was walking through and I seen how they were building, I had a dream in my head. Follow me on this story because I know I'm going to touch on yours. Follow me. Let me finish my story. So by the time I actually made it to the heights of what I thought was my dream, able to afford a large home around the corner from sports stars, buying brand new cars, had a shoe room in my house with 300 pairs of shoes. I had a belt wall so that whatever outfit I wore, I had a belt to match it. And then I had at least 50 or 60 watches and about 50 or 60 hats. So whatever I wore, everything matched because I wasn't broke no more. I fulfilled my dream, but there was a problem. The problem was when a storm of life came by. I still call it my Job experience because I had went from welfare to on the books. I had a multiple seven-figure net worth in real estate. That if I would just cash in my properties, I was very well off to do. And a storm came and blew it all away. And so the very dream that I worked so hard to achieve for so long, so many nights of crying, I achieved it. And then the storm came to wipe it all away. And I found myself, after having achieved all of that success, ending up 1 week away from being homeless. The economy had turned down. People betrayed me. People close to me had did me in. And the very dream that I had built from the day I stood in that line saying I will never go back to getting any government cheese and butter ever again to feed my family. I found myself 1 week. 1 week is all they gave me. And they said, you got to get out of that home you built. Are you hearing what I'm saying? This is the world of where Forex came into my world. See, people think I needed Forex, and I was already doing very well for myself. Very well. I spoke on stages, I was on radio, did some television appearances. I was doing fine. But the storms of life come, and they hit everybody, including you. So here's some tips to share with you on what I had to do to get myself out of that rut and to get back up on my feet again, so that you'll know it is possible. It's not over. But I had to make some other new decisions. Here we go. Take notes. Number one, the first thing I had to do was stop feeling sorry for myself. Write that down. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Okay, you blew an account. Okay, that trade didn't work out. Okay, you had this strategy, but it didn't turn out. Okay, this person, you thought they were true to whatever, and they turned out to be a scammer. Yeah, okay, your family didn't believe in you. Okay, this is happening. I understand, but you cannot fall victim to feeling sorry for yourself. It serves no purpose. Now, I'm not saying that you can't take a moment to take a break and take a knee and and just cry out to the Lord your God and say, God, this hurts. I ain't telling you can't do that. I did it many times, and I still do sometimes. It's okay to take a knee, but you leave your prayers on your knees and you get up and you get back at it again. Don't stay on your knees. Some of you guys been telling yourself the same sad story, and others or anybody else who's willing to listen to your same sad story. You've been telling the same sad story for the last couple of years. When are you going to write a new chapter? I had to start talking to myself differently. I had to start rebuking myself and stop letting myself tell me things that wasn't healthy for me to hear. Your own mind can become its own predator to itself because it's constantly barraging you with thoughts of negativity and disbelief. And your own mind returns treacherous and vengeful and pitiful. So the first thing I had to do is stop talking negatively and stop feeling sorry for myself. It happened. The people who did me wrong, it happened. Some of the decisions I made back then, would I have made them today, knowing what I know now? No. But write this down, this is a bonus. I made the best decisions I could with the information I had at that time. See, hindsight is 20/20. Everything looks clear when it's over. But during the storm, you didn't see everything. So you just made the decision based on what you knew at the moment. Accept it and move on, knowing that now that you know better, you will decide better. But staying in that moment that has already passed serves no purpose. Number two, I had to stop rehearsing my failures. You lost a trade last week. How many times you gonna keep talking about that trade you lost last week? So what? It lost. So you connect that loss of last week to everything. I learned a little slogan that I used to have when I had my talk show for relationships, and I used to say, LIG that thing. LIG that thing. Let it go. Stop repeating the story. And this is something I still have to work on, because if things turn in the direction that I didn't anticipate and I get angry enough, or I get sad enough, then there I go rehearsing as if that's going to benefit me today, and it does nothing for my soul other than to decay it. and to shatter my dreams. Any dream you have, when you constantly or feeling sorry for yourself and rehearsing bad stories, you're pushing that dream further down the street from you obtaining it. You're doing that. I was doing that. So we have to be careful of how we talk to ourselves. We have to be careful of how we're allowing our minds to monitor the thoughts that's running through them. Let me be very transparent with you. One of the things that I have adopted for myself, I love audiobooks. Love them. Love audiobooks. But here's the reason why. And let me be very clear. I don't mean the audiobooks on, how to win friends and influence others, 21 ways to do this, the laws of power and prestige, this, that, and the other. How to overcome depression. I don't listen to that. Because the more you seek out self-help, sometimes the worse things get, because you're always doing deep dives into your soul to see what you need to correct. And when you're doing these deep dives into your soul of every single time, I'm not saying that I don't listen to them sometimes, but when you do it all the time, what happens is in your head, you think you are always on a mission to correct something in your life, never celebrating that you already have corrected some things. So I'll dibble and dabble in that, but I learned to get up out of there too. Because the more I keep doing that, the more I keep learning more about, well, I got to correct this about me. Well, I got to correct. And you'll always be on a level of correction, never a celebration of what you have accomplished. We have a few people in here. If I'm touching on something so far, type of amen in the box. Just to let me know that I'm on point. This is why, yes, I'm a strong believer in self-help, but not to stay there doing it every day. Because when you're on a perpetual cycle of self-help, you're always on a perpetual cycle of thinking that you're not good enough. You're always on a perpetual cycle of thinking that you always got something in your life that got to be fixed. And you never take a break to celebrate what you have accomplished. And that puts your dream that much further, because you're thinking that you're lacking when you could be close. So the type of audiobooks I listen to actually are the ones that distract my mind from me. I don't want to hear it. See, sometimes you have to have that talk with yourself. Circumstances and all these different things that come against you. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. We're going to stick to the plan of action, and hell or high water, whatever comes, it comes. I can't cry over who did this. I can't cry over a trade that didn't work out. I can't cry. I can't stay stuck on being upset. And that's exactly what your mind will do. It has a perpetual sick habit of wanting to repeat devastating stories to you. This is why some of you guys are dealing with depression now. Your mind has not given you a break. The moment you wake up, the stories begin. This is why some people are turning to alcohol and all these different things to numb not their emotions, but their own mind from talking the stories that it's addicted to telling you. So you thought you were the only one. It happens to everybody. It's just most people don't talk about it. Because most people are on Instagram and social media trying to portray a story of success and happiness. And then when the camera's off, they're just this miserable. And they depend on likes and clicks to make them feel good about themselves. Because that story is running in their head. A failure. I haven't accomplished my goals. I haven't accomplished my dreams. Every time I try this, this happens to me, and da 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 da. And see, this is what this is what Forex traders need to hear. Because when you're starting your journey off, this is what it feels like sometimes. But you can't tell your significant other, you can't tell your children, you can't tell your friends. This is all a war that goes on inside of you, and you have nowhere to go with it, and you're trapped within your own head. For me, I listen to audiobooks that are thrillers, something that's like a audio movie in my head. I love James Patterson books, such as Alex Cross series or the Michael Bennett series or something like that. I love thrillers because it keeps my mind occupied into, are y'all gonna catch this crazy person? See, what I'm doing is I'm just constantly keeping my mind distracted. Why? Because if I don't do that, my mind loves, just like yours, to soak in and rehearse who hurt me, who betrayed me. I just got betrayed just the other day. I just did. And I went off, or I was angry. But then I had to go somewhere and get quiet because, again, it took me a moment. I had to take a knee, which is okay, which is okay. But I couldn't ruin my whole weekend with my time with my Miss Nancy over something that this person did. I have a decision to make, and I made it very clear to them. I have a decision to make, and I will let them know what my decision is. But I couldn't let it consume me. So I went and took Miss Nancy. We ate a good meal, and I turned on a good audiobook, a thriller, and kept my mind occupied on another story. So the story in my head won't keep playing to the point where I'm so angry I want to hurt somebody. Type of amen in the box if you've ever been there. You're so angry you just want to hit something or somebody. See, I had to cut the story off. I promise you they're going to get dealt with. But I can't do it in that level of anger. So I had to distract my mind. I had to recalibrate myself. I had to get balance back in my head. I had to get quiet and ask God for wisdom versus me going out and slapping the hell out of him, grabbing him by the throat. The amount of money I pay you and you betray me? The amount of business I give you and you betray me? You will be dealt with. You will. See, taking the knee does not stop the action that needs to take place, but I just don't need to do it in anger right now. Let me get my head calm. Let me relax. Let me calm my soul. And then I move forward with a decision after I prayed and allowed God to talk to my heart. So I know that the decision I make is not out of emotions, but it's out of concrete, solid facts. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Yeah, I wanted to do a Will Smith on, I still do. Promise to God I do. But what's that? Will that be? Will I get the results of a Will Smith where you just damage your whole reputation for the rest of your life? Forever from this point, because you acted out of emotions, you allowed your emotions to get the best of you. Will you mark everything that you've ever done well will be summed up in a mistake you made in a moment of anger? And I'm trying to avoid that. I was angry enough to wrap my hand around that person's neck. But instead, I distracted my mind. I won't let because even if I talk to you now and if I ponder on it, my mind will go back to see, you can't trust nobody. See, Uncle Pete, see what happens when you trust somebody. See, don't let nobody get close. And then your mind will just start telling you these stories. And it just will flare the anger of flames up in my heart all over again. So I have to fight against my own thinking process by distraction. Why? Because it has nothing to do. I will have to make a decision, and I will. But I want you to do it in wisdom. So in the meantime, me festering on anger, festering over this, festering over a trade that didn't work out, festering over this person or that, festering ain't going to help me. Wisdom will. And since it's hard for me to hear wisdom, let me settle my mind by distracting it with a good audio thriller book. Love them things. Detective Michael Bennett, James Patterson, Alex Cross, James Patterson books. I like his books because they somebody just blew up the city of New York underground. And Michael Bennett, he out trying to catch whoever these crazy people are. And I'm out there, catch this fool, this dude crazy. He killing you. See, my mind is on this movie. Why? Because I need to distract myself from my anger. I need to distract myself from not feeling sorry for myself. I need to distract myself from not rehearsing the story over and over and over in my head to the point where I want to take vengeance. Vengeance is mine, not saith the Lord, but saith Uncle P, for those who know that Bible. The Bible says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I will repay. If I let this story play out in my head, it's constantly saying, vengeance is yours, Uncle P. Let's go get them. And the reward will not be good. See, I have to protect my thinking because there was something I had in mind and this person just shattered it. I had a goal to reach in my head, but this person just intervened and shattered it. And there will be a consequence, but I want to do it wisely. Let's go to the next one. So we covered stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop rehearsing your failures. So what, you lost the trade? So what, you blew an account? Okay, that's great. So what, this didn't work out? Okay, that's good. Did you document it so you can make notes and make changes to make sure not to make the mistake again? Did you over leverage your account? Did you blow your account? Okay, what did you learn from that? Did you document it, or are you still rehearsing it and having self-pity over it? What did you learn? Was it a lesson or a tormentor to your soul? See, it can be either or. But you have to choose what you're going to do with that information. Let me stop and take a real break from this and let me share this with you. It tormented my soul a bit this weekend. I hate losing. I don't like losing trades like anybody else. But for some reason, and many of you guys probably lost last week on the JPY pairs because it showed good setups, but then for whatever reason, it kept on going. And then it kept on going. And see, for me, let me give you a little tip just to help you out so you don't keep blowing your accounts. Anytime I lose a trade once or twice on a pair, I will leave it alone until the following week typically. Because that means something else is going on in that country that's causing it to go well beyond its normal technical analysis boundaries. And so I was researching even until last night trying to figure out, because there wasn't no news out that was heavy on the JPY pairs. But lo and behold, last night I found a little something that may have leaned in and gave me clues as to why all the currency pairs that was against the JPY were shooting completely way up to the moon, such as the AUD JPY, the Swiss JPY, the CAD JPY, the NZD JPY. You check any of them, they all were shooting up. Why? And there was no news. I didn't see. But lo and behold, I was researching last night and I figured out that one of their problems was that their inflation numbers exceeded expectations. And then on top of that, they are not raising interest rates on their currency. So that causes the JPY currently at the moment to actually be dropping, because there was no people who wanted to invest in the JPY. So that automatically means any pair that was against the JPY, such as the AUD JPY, CHF, the Swiss JPY, CAD JPY, and I can go on and on, the GBP JPY, that's the reason why all of them went up against it, because the JPY was dropping. I said, okay, now I feel better, and I moved on from it. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So you have to learn to move on. Learn to move on. Let's go to the next one. Number 3, I have to stop listening to others' opinions of me. Let me tell you something. I got people who sit up here and want to say, oh, you know, this Uncle P dude, he ain't nothing but a scammer. Nigga, Lord, forgive me that I don't like saying that word, but ooh, they burn me up. But you know what? Here's the deal. You can say whatever you want about me, and at the same time, when you're puckering your lips talking about me, use one of them lips to kiss both my left and right butt cheek, because I don't care. You don't know me. You don't know my story. You don't even know where I came from. You weren't there when I was broke, starving, and didn't have nothing, and I'm standing in line waiting for government cheese to feed my kids. You weren't there. And then all of a sudden, now that I'm helping people, doing a little bit of success, getting myself back on my feet and all these different things, all of a sudden now here you come talking like you're an authority figure on Uncle P, like you live right next door to me and you know everything about me. Please Where were you when I was needing help? Where were you when I was struggling? Where were you when I was crying? Where were you when my kids needed food on the table and I didn't know where I was going to get the money from? Where were you? Where were you? You didn't even care what my name was. And now all of a sudden, you some kind of expert on Uncle Pete. And oftentimes I research to find out who you are, just so we're transparent. And come to find out, almost every single person who's ever said anything negative about me, they never even had any parts of Super Easy Forex. Never bought a trading system, never came to one of my classes, nothing. And yet you're an expert on me. And some of the others, you came in trying to be a scammer in the group, which we have tons of proof on you, which I should make public. And then you're the person doing the review. Why? Because I kicked you out of my group? You doggone right I did. It took too much pain and struggle to get where we are as a group. And then here you come like wolf in sheep clothing, expecting me to just let you do your thing in my group. Heck to the no. And I want to say another word. So you keep on doing your reviews about me. You keep on saying what you have to say about me. It means nothing to me. Why? Because as long as I believe in me and I believe in the Lord my God and he has something good to say about me, you don't matter. What your opinions are about me is none of my business. Matter of fact, and I'm going to bless some of you guys. Some of you guys out there, you need to hear this. Let me help y'all. Let me help y'all. Some of you guys, you're so worried about what other people are saying about you until you're not realizing that you're subjecting yourselves and belittling yourself to your own dream. Could your own dream be stagnant because you're waiting for other people to approve of who you are? Are you waiting for others to believe in you before you believe in yourself? Are you so thirsty for people's approval until you're not even stopping to approve of yourself first? See, whatever dream or goal you have, sometimes God gave that to you and he don't need people to approve of you. In fact, people don't start talking about you until you start accomplishing something. And many of them have never accomplished anything in their life. That's why they're targeting you, because they've seen you trying to come up out of your situation and improve your life for the better, and then trying to turn around and help other people. And so now they're actually attacking you. It's like that old story, that old situation where they talk about crabs in the barrel. The one who gets close to the top get pulled down by the rest of the crabs. And they all end up dying in the bucket. So the moment they see you making a move, then they start coming after you because you're trying to be something different. And different ain't always celebrated in the beginning. But towards the end, every person who has ever accomplished anything big has always been a person who did something what? Different. Your own family members can end up talking about you because guess what? They don't believe in you. Why? Because you're doing something what? Different. And you have to learn to step out on faith because guess what? Whatever dream or goal God gave you, he gave it to you. He didn't give it to them. So you can't wait for them to understand what you're trying to do because he didn't give it to them. He gave it to you. But you're waiting for them to say it's okay when God said it was okay. So if God gave it to you, he's already endorsed saying you're good to go. You're equipped. You're enough. I'm confident you can do it. But you're sitting back on your loins waiting for others to approve of who you are and what you're capable of doing. And they will never do it because guess what? Complacency and staleness and failure has become their normal. And anybody who goes against that normal, they attack for trying. I don't know why you trying that. I don't know why you sitting up there trying to do that Forex stuff. I don't know what you doing. See, because when I was trying my dreams, see, that was your dreams. Had nothing to do with me. But these are the people who you are getting your definition of who you are from. And you're not standing up for yourself. And so I have to push all that away and stand on the ground that, hey, if I was able to get from welfare to multimillionaire, lose it all, and then get myself back, which, by the way, in the next 3 weeks, we're moving into a new home. promised my wife I was getting her a spot, and I'm just waiting for them to finish building it. See, I was broke. Then I made it. Then I lost everything. And I'm back again. How did I do that? Because I have faith in my God and I have faith in me. I don't need everybody liking me. I have to like me. I have to believe in me. And when opposition comes, I have to know that I can overcome it. When trades don't work out, I still know that I have the knowledge to get it done. When people think I'm a scammer, I didn't ask you for a freaking dime. Even this channel with me spending, I've been doing these videos for years. Not a single one of them are monetized. I pour out from my heart. The trading systems, I simply say just buy the trading system so we're on the same page. That, like I told my students last week in class, I said, people want to come to my class. Well, it's like a college. When you go to college, they always tell you, here's the textbook that you have to buy in order for you to stay on board with the lesson plan. If you don't buy the book, how can you keep up with the lessons? Well, if you want to trade and learn from me how to trade, buy my trading system and the classes are free. Because when I'm teaching from my system. If you don't have it, you ain't gonna understand what I'm talking about. So it's just like the textbook. Buy the textbook or flunk the class. Have you ever attended a college class and then refused to buy the textbook and still expect to pass the course? Don't that sounds pretty dumb, don't it? But if I hold to the same principle, hey, just buy the same trading system. It's a one-time, just buy the trading system, buy simplicity, start with that one. Guess what? And then come to class. My classes, I've never charged a person a single penny for them. Ever. They are free. And yet you're going to call me a scammer? You call me whatever you want. You keep calling me whatever you want. But I guarantee one thing. And here's something I want y'all, and I'm going to move to the next point. But I guarantee here's something I have learned in my life, especially in the Forex arena. I have learned that any person who spends all day long trying to comment on you, I have never met one of them who have been successful of their own accord. Never. They have always been broke. They have always been poor. They have always been unsuccessful, and they're just trying to target me because they can't figure out how am I doing it. Well, I'm trying to teach you, but instead of trying to learn from me, you're trying to attack me. And do you? See, it doesn't stop me from moving my wife to this new place. See, it doesn't stop me from enjoying my life. It doesn't stop me from going on vacation. Your comments don't stop me. So I don't need to care about what you're saying. And this is a lesson for some of you guys. You constantly listen to what other people are saying about you. You're allowing them to derail you and your dream. And I refuse to do that. Now, I'm not saying that their comments don't hurt me. I'm not a machine. It hurts. But I just don't let it stop me. Type amen if you're understanding what I'm saying. I'm giving you life lessons. You want to be a Forex trader, you have whatever dream you have, I'm giving you life lessons. This is Uncle P raw in live in color. Yes, it hurts to be said these negative things when you know full well that's no, when I had nothing. When I had nothing. Didn't know where I was going to get the money to feed my family. Not one time did I say, well, let me come up with a good scheme. Let me come up with a good con job. Let me come up with a good scam. If I didn't do it when I had nothing, God has blessed me and allowed me to be fruitful and multiply again. Ain't no way in God's green earth I'm going to sell my soul for a couple of dollars that I don't even need. If I quit today and never place another trade, I was sharing this with my wife, going over our numbers. If I quit today and never take another trade, never do another video, close down shop on Super Easy, I am good to go for several years of reserves. God has blessed me to be fruitful and multiply because I never gave up on myself. So why on God green earth would I waste my time destroying my soul to get a couple of dollars from somebody? God forbid. But this is why you have to bypass what people say. You honor your God. You don't honor people. The bigger you go, the more haters you get. I'm going to say that again. The bigger you go, the more haters you get. And you ain't even did nothing. You never met them, never said anything to them, never shook their hand, never had to come, and they will hate you. That's just part of it. Let's keep going. For those who's just tuning in, what we're talking about today is tips for getting past the hurt of not reaching your dreams and goals. Because it's not that you can't reach them. They just haven't been attained yet. But in that process, it can hurt as you're going, trying to achieve it. So number one, just a quick rehearsal, and we'll be wrapping up soon. Number one was stop feeling sorry for yourself. That's what I had to do. I had to stop feeling sorry for myself. Number two, I had to stop rehearsing my failures to myself. I don't need to hear it. What's done is done. Number three, I had to stop listening to others' opinions of me, because they don't know me. Only my God does. He created me. He knows me. And my job is to discover myself and what my potential is and to work that thing. Next, number four, realize that yesterday does not define my todays or tomorrows. Some of you guys had a bad trading week last week. That does not define your todays and tomorrows. Did you journal down with how you lost? Did you journal down what trades you lost on? Did you journal down on what pairs you lost? Did you take a journal and just journal it down, and then after that you move the heck on? Guess what? Some will, some won't. So what? Move on. I'll say it again. Some will, some won't. So what? Move on. Some of them trades is going to work out. Some of them won't. So what? Just move on. See, you rehearsing and staying stuck on past failures, it's not going to move the needle towards you reaching your dreams. It just keeps you captured in something that has already happened. And just because you're rehearsing it 40 and 50 times in your head ain't going to make it go away. It ain't going to change the results of what took place. And you want to stick around for my last point before you leave this video, because my last point is the one I live by. It's an acronym, and I'm going to give you my gift that I use to keep me going. So hang tight. But number four was realize that yesterday, unless you keep rehearsing it and digesting it and breathing and eating it, yesterday has no impact on today or tomorrow's. Today is a new day. Whatever happened yesterday happened. Well, they said that they betrayed me. That happened. All right. Deal with it, and we're going to move on. I lost those trades on the. All right. Did you journal it? What did you learn from it? Was there news events, or did you just have a, what happened? What did you learn from it? And then you move on and prepare for a new week. So those who have short memories go the furthest because they don't hang on to things. I will never forget, I was listening to an interview by Elon Musk, and I don't say that I like him or dislike him, but I learned something from the man. And they were interviewing him on SpaceX or whatever his rocket program was. And he had failure after failure after failure. Money lost, money after millions of dollars. You worried about that $10 or $50, $100 account you blew. This man was blowing millions of dollars. Losing money like it was water. And I remember he was in the interview and they asked him, did you ever think that this would fail? Did you ever consider quitting? He had one answer. Never. Did you hear what I said? See, we celebrate, and we don't celebrate, but we discuss Elon Musk. Oh, he's doing Twitter. Oh, he's doing this. But see, we don't discuss the failures that the man went through. What separates him from you? He did not quit. His mindset was a winner's mindset. He said, never. When they asked him, did you feel like giving up? He said, never. Never. And when I started researching highly successful people, because that's what I love to do, I like following them, not for their success, but I want to know, what did they go through? Because when I realize what they go through and what they went through, it helps me feel good about my own journey, about what I'm going through. Because it lets me know that just because I'm going through something doesn't mean that the dream can't be accomplished. And the only way for me to learn that is to learn from other people who have accomplished their dreams. Did they go through something? And the answer is absolutely yes. Well, what separates them from those who don't make it? It was one thing. They didn't quit. They didn't feel sorry for themselves. They stopped rehearsing negative situations and they kept it moving. Type amen if you're hearing what I'm saying. Are you that kind of person? How do you talk to you? Last week pre-class we were listening to, because I opened up the classroom 30 minutes beforehand to give people enough time to get there. And in the meantime, while we're waiting for class to start, I typically play something motivational, and we were listening to Dr. Miles Monroe. And he brought up a point that I never paid attention to in all my years of listening and reading the Bible. He said Jesus never said anything negative about himself. He said, I am the bread of life. I am the way. I am the truth. See, he was speaking life about himself. Even when the Pharisees and Sadducees were saying, you ain't nothing but an imposter. You a fake, you a scam. That's what they were telling Jesus. You a scam. But see, for him, he was constantly speaking life to himself because he knew he had a goal and a dream and he had something to finish. That's why when he went to the cross, his final words were, it is what? Finished. But the journey was tough and they end up murdering him. And even during his murdering, public murder, his final words was, it is finished. See, he completed what he came to do. Even when they killed him and murdered him for just trying to help people. But he had a goal and he didn't let people stop him. And that's why we're celebrating people of success, because we find out their journey was just as tough as yours. You're not the only one, baby. But the only thing that separates them is their mindset of saying, I'm just not going to quit. I've had good success twice, and I had major failure where I didn't know where I was going to put food on the table twice. And the only thing that's saving me is the grace of God and me saying, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. Come what may, I'm not giving up. See, it's not what people say about me, it's what I'm saying to myself. How are you talking to you? Oh, let's get real about it. Your last trades that you lost, what did you say to yourself? Not about the trades, but what did you say about you? I'm always failing. Ain't nothing work right for me. It's like the market's attacking me, and you go into this rehearsal of self-pity. Nobody enjoys a loss, but how you talk to yourself will get you back on the horse and lead you to the road to success versus quitting and failure, burnout. Let's keep this going. Next one. The markets will give me good days. Listen to this. This is so powerful. The markets will give me good days and bad days. Accept this or get out of the game. Praise God, this is so powerful. I told you guys, I only got a few more minutes and I got to hurry up and get up out of here. I told you guys, I wish to God that I would have had somebody who was doing videos like this about the Forex market and to speak in my personal life. For some of you guys, this ain't even just about Forex. You're going through something else in your life and you needed to hear this. This is why you're here. And I know there's a few people listening now and several people, a bunch of people will listen to this later when I post it on the main streams. But I praise God that this is being said because I know somebody needs this. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are, but you needed to hear this message today. You didn't need to hear another strategy on how to work the 200-day moving average, work the 10-day moving average, to use the 50 when the 50 crosses over the 200, and then you need to use the moving average, you need the MACD, and then you need the stochastic, and then you need the RSI to set the 10 to that. You didn't need another strategy. You needed somebody to talk to your broken soul. And God knew you needed this. See, I'm different. But I'm going to use my difference to glorify my God and to help somebody else who's hurting. Because pain is very familiar to me. But I just don't let it stop me. But I will tell the truth about how hurt you can be along the way to your journey of success. I have no qualms with sharing what it feels like. I have no problem opening up about the struggles you're going to go through. It ain't easy, baby. That's why a lot of people never reach their goals. They fall by the wayside. It's painful. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So here's what my philosophy is on the markets. The markets will give me good days and bad days. Either I'm going to accept this or I need to get out of the game. I'll repeat that statement. The markets are going to give me good days and bad days. Either I accept this or I need to get out of the game. There is no holy grail. I remember hearing about the holy grail, and it sent me on an endless course of searching for indicators and trading systems and this and that, thinking that I should never lose a trade. And when I did, I was devastated, thinking that something was wrong with me, not realizing that now that I know better, and I have worked with some of the best traders on the planet, and now I look at them and I realize, well, dog to the gonnet. Everybody lose some trades sometimes. Everybody. I don't care how successful. Everybody lose some trades sometimes. So Uncle P, you ain't bad off, brother. Just manage your money and accept it, or either you need to quit the game. See, some of you guys, let me help you with this, and we're almost done. Some of you guys, here's where your problem is. And I'm going to be very, very honest with you. If you fix this or you don't. If you don't fix this, you need to quit. I'm just telling you, don't sign up for my course. Don't sign up for nothing. Don't buy another indicator. Don't go for another trading system. I'm telling you with all sincerity, this is not going to be for you. Here's where some of you guys, where your trouble is. In Forex, in opening a cake bakery, in opening a restaurant, in opening a diner, in opening your own business, your own Shopify, your own Amazon business, whatever it is, that comes with a level of risk and uncertainty. There's no guarantees. Some of you guys have a guarantee. I need guarantees. I need security. If that is you, then you need to stick to your job. Stop talking about, I'm going to quit my job. No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't. I'm just being transparent and honest with you. Because being an entrepreneur, which is what a Forex trader is, a person with a Shopify, a person with an Amazon, a person who opens up a cupcake restaurant, a car dealer business, I don't care what it is. The moment you start in business for yourself, you just accepted the fact that there's going to be some risk and uncertainty. And many of you guys are struggling with that because you say, I need certainty. I got these bills I need to pay and this and that. And the markets and business don't care nothing about that. So if you're the person who requires security and a steady paycheck, you don't need to be trading. If you don't get nothing else out of this video but that, I have just saved you a boatload of time and money. Because there is no guarantees in the markets. Other than the fact that if you stick to a winning strategy, majority of your trades should win and some of them will not. Problem is, you don't know which ones will be the ones that will win and which ones will not. That's where the uncertainty comes in. You can have an 80% win rate trading system. You can have a 90% win rate trading system. The problem is that 10% or that 20% still exists. And it doesn't say when it's going to happen. And oftentimes, you know where the 10 and 20% losses come in? At the beginning of the trading week, which is what I shared with y'all in last week's video. That's why I keep telling y'all, stay away from those early days. I went into detail explaining to you guys why you should not trade on Sundays and shy away primarily from Mondays. I explained in detail how news events impact the market, how when each market session open, what happens. I went through that in detail. If you missed that video, go back and look at it. But I keep telling you guys, that's where majority of retail traders blow their account in the first 2 days of the week, Sunday and Mondays. And you can instantly increase your winning percentage just by staying away from those days, period. But do you? No, you don't. Because you're too thirsty to get into a trade, but then you can't handle the risk. God, this is some good video. Whew, this is good. So you're expecting a steady paycheck out of an uncertain market. The only thing guaranteed is that the market will give you some wins, and it'll certainly slap you upside the head with some losses. And the whole point of the game is to have more wins than losses. It's no different. I'm finna watch the Warriors game. The Warriors and the Boston Celtics play today. Stephen Curry is a record breaker, but I also know that he's setting records, but yet every shot that he takes does not go in the basket. And yet he's still celebrated. LeBron James, I heard he just hit over $1 billion in net worth. One of the best basketball players in history, whether you like him or not, it doesn't matter. See, your opinion of him don't matter. He still made it to billionaire status like Michael Jordan. But here's what we do know. He is popular for being a basketball player, but you can say this with certainty. He has dominated. He has set records. He has hit the history books for many levels, but he didn't make every shot. And yet he's a winner. And the Forex market is not going to be any different. You can be a winner, but you don't expect every shot to go in. During the last game, Stephen Curry, he hit, I forgot how many threes in the first quarter. And then second quarter, he made no points at all in the second quarter. He set a record and lost the game too. They lost. And he made no points in the second quarter. See, it doesn't take away the fact that he's in the record books because he kept on shooting. He kept on shooting. He didn't quit like some of you. You think, oh man, he's setting records in the first quarter. Man, this man's sizzling. Second quarter came, he didn't make nothing. But he kept on shooting. What about you? Some of you guys, you quit everything, every time. You stick to nothing. And yet you want to be a professional Forex trader? Get out of here. If you can't handle losses, you need not be in this business because it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. You're trading entire world's economies, people. It's not just about indicators and support and resistance. It's entire countries' economies that you're trading. Every trade you place is predicated upon two countries' economies. NZD, USD, that's the New Zealand dollar's economy versus the United States dollar's economy. So when you place that trade based on support, resistance, this and that, don't ever forget that's two countries' economies. And at any moment, one of them countries can come out saying something crazy and that trade just get lost. Not because you did something wrong, you're trading in an uncertain territory. That's the business. If you can't handle it, you need to quit. Go find something else. Put yourself out of your misery. There is no holy grail. These are countries' economies. And they can say something at any moment, and that currency will shoot the wrong way. And you just happen to have just opened a trade. Let me wrap this up. Next one. I got to go very, very quickly. God, I'm over time. Next one. I'll speak quickly. Number 6 is stop comparing. I had to, and this is number 6 for me, what I had to do. I had to stop comparing myself to others. I'll never forget I was in those trading groups, especially I remember I was in this trading group for the Market Makers Method, which I studied for about 3 years straight, nonstop, day and night, for years. And I was in that group and just frustrated beyond words because I was seeing people post their profits and I'm like, okay, I got the same trading system as them. I've been taught the same thing. What the heck is wrong with me? Why am I dumb? Am I stupid? And you see that negative talk kick in? How is it that everybody else making profits with the same system, but it ain't working for me? What is going on with me? And so I started attacking me. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Some of you guys are doing that now. I thought I was stupid. It didn't matter all the success I've had in my life. When I entered into that group, man, I felt stupid. High today, lower today, M's and W's, and I felt stupid. It deflated my ego. It hurt me. And what I had to do is to learn to stop paying attention to other people who were posting in the group. And I had to just get back to study, study, study. Some of you guys, you wonder why how Super Easy even came into existence, because of those experiences. And it was like, what am I not seeing? I'm using what they have, but I'm not seeing it. And so I end up going into the business of designing indicators for me. I needed to see. I couldn't see the charts. Whatever. What's wrong? It's like you wearing glasses, I'm wearing glasses, everybody wearing glasses in the room. But for some reason, the people who have glasses other than me, they could see very clearly. You know when they do the eye test and they say cover one eye and you can see. See, I couldn't see. I'm in the same room, but I couldn't see. So I started designing indicators for myself to help me see. Do you understand? See, this is why I say kiss both my butt cheeks for those who want to call me this and that. Oh, he came out with a new trade system. He did, or whatever. Because I realized the same problem that was happening to me was happening to others. You know how many testimonials I done got? Along with these critics, I came out with the sexy analyst. No, everybody don't like it. That's fine. I don't care. But some people were sending me testimonials and sending me daily reports of how much money they've been making. They say, man, since I combine the simplicity with the sexy analyst, man, I can see everything so clear now. And they sending me money. Not sending me money, but sending me their screenshots of how much money they've been making. I had one person, they sent me, I think they made, what, 10,000 in a day? And then came back and made another 14,000 the next day or something like that. I forgot what it was. People make it, they say, man, I never made money like this. See, they had simplicity, but they needed one more thing. They just needed to see. So we created the sexy analysts. We combined the two together. And guess what? They can see everything now. The higher highs and the lower lows, they can see it now. They couldn't see it before. Some of you guys were struggling with drawn in trend lines. As soon as they got that, guess what? It automates the trend lines. Okay. If price action breaks out of that, you would have to redraw your trend lines. It just redo it automatically. If price action goes the other way, then automatically it reshapes itself. Oh, what about indicators that repaint? Don't you redraw your trend lines? Your trend lines you drew last week ain't sufficient for this week because price has moved on from there. You see how stupid that is? That's why I don't listen to people. But I'm here to help some people. And people send me screenshots of record profits. Man, I ain't never made this much money. Thank you, Uncle P. And I'm saying, God, thank you. Because all I did was do for them what I had to do for myself. I couldn't see it. I felt stupid. Because I couldn't see it and I wasn't making no money. After 3 years of straight studying, harder than any student I knew. I said, if I can't make money, at least I can study harder than anybody else. And I still was flunking the class. Wasn't making nothing. Some of you guys are there. That's how Super Easy came into existence. I needed to design something that I could see. See, I didn't quit. I just found another way. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Let me hurry up and wrap this video up. So, in essence, stop comparing yourself. Well, they posted profits. That don't mean nothing. Your day will come. Just learn the process, baby. Just learn it, stick to it, and do your thing. Don't worry about what they're doing. So you caught up in everybody else's story. Focus on your own, baby. Focus on your own. Focus on your own. Mind your damn business. Lord, forgive me for saying, but mind your business. Y'all worry about what somebody else did. That's great. Their time came sooner than yours, but yours will come if you stick to it. Whatever that may be. And if this is the video you need to hear to say, hey, maybe Forex is not for you, but then you may have something else and you'll still reach it. You may have to do a detour, baby. Whatever it is, you can get there. You can get there. You can get there. You might have to find a different way, a different route, a different method, a different something, different strategy. I don't know, but just don't give up. You can get there. Next one. One of the things that my wife taught me when we had nothing, I remember my wife needed to go, and I'm going to say this one quick because this one still brings tears to my eyes, and I got to hurry up because I'm well over my time. But God, this was devastating. Oh, this was devastating. I knew I had a low. I knew I was at a low when this happened. My dear sweet Nancy, she had a family event, and you're talking to a man who had a net worth of a couple of million, living in a 7,000 square foot house, round the corner from sports players and doctors and lawyers, prestigious neighborhood, 6-car driveway. My driveway could hold up to 6 cars. And then I had a 4-car garage. So that's 10 cars that could have, I remember this. God, I remember this. And I felt so low after life hit me. My wife, she needed just to get on a plane to go see her family members for an event. And I felt so low, lost everything. And I couldn't even afford to get her a plane ticket. We had to call her brother, and I had to borrow the money from him. That's why I knew I was low. I couldn't even afford to get my baby Nancy a ticket to go see her family. I had to borrow it. Oh, y'all hearing what I'm saying? Oh, I know about pain, baby. I know. Oh, I know. But I never forgot my sweet, dear wife when we were struggling and nobody knew. She kept on saying, she kept on saying, she said, God is your source. She said, don't worry about it, honey. God is our source. It's going to be okay. My little brother, he always say, man, don't go crying on the camera, bro. You messing up your man card there. I can hear my little brother's voice. I got a little brother, he watched my videos too. Yeah, I can hear his voice. But the truth of the matter is, man, that still hurt me to this day because I remember I wanted to so bad and I couldn't even afford to get my dear baby a plane ticket so she could see her family. I knew I hit a low. How you go from being a 7-figure earner, so it doesn't matter where you are in life. Life will come and find you and slap the hell out of you and leave you with one question: what you gonna do now? And I had to make a choice. Am I gonna give up and tell my woe is me story, or am I gonna figure this thing out? Am I gonna think and grow rich like the book said, or am I gonna lay here and just take it on the chin? I won't forget that. And my baby, she kept saying, baby, don't worry about it. God is your source, not people, not these jobs. She said, God is your source. Just trust him. I can hear her still talking in my ear years later with that same statement. God is your source. Don't worry about it. We're going to be okay. And that's why I was able to buy her the car she wanted in cash. She found a place that she wanted to move to. We will be moving there as soon as that house is ready. I said I was going to drive to this new location, but I decided what for. I paid for them to ship our vehicles. And I bought us I said, baby, you go get us some plane tickets. I can afford plane tickets for us now. You got it. Don't worry about it. My baby girl, to this day, she still don't ask me for much or nothing. But the moment she do, I'm going to go overboard to do whatever. Because she was there. See, I don't care about these people who want to talk about me. Oh, he this, he that. Oh, he trying. She was there. And she stuck by my side at the lowest part of my life. And she believed in me when I couldn't help her at all. She had faith that God was going to get us through it and that her man was going to do his best to get back on his feet. And now she can ask for whatever. I don't care. She has access to all the accounts. You know why? Because she was there when there wasn't nothing in them accounts. You see how dreams pay off if you don't quit? And God came through. But I learned it was a partnership. God needed me to not give up. He'll guide me, but he won't do it for me. We work in partnership. Let me give you this last one and we're done. There's a verse I want you guys to keep in mind, and I'm not a preacher, never will be. That's not unless God tells me to be. I never want to be a preacher because all it does is bring more critics for something I don't even care about. I ain't tripping. I'm here to share what I learned. And I'm just here to give encouragement. I ain't no preacher. I'm still struggling myself. Still trying to get it right with God. So don't label me. If I say cuss words, whatever, hey. I'm just like Steve Harvey. I love God, but I'm still learning. And I never want to be held to a standard that don't belong to me. I'm not a preacher, but I love God. And I know some of these Bible principles have helped me through my life. And here is one of them. And I'll leave you with this. Philippians chapter 3, verse 3 through 15. It says this: brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead. Did you hear that? Forgetting what is behind. Whatever has happened, and I'm straining towards whatever God has before me. I press toward the goal to win the prize of God's holy calling in Jesus Christ. All of us who are mature should embrace this point of view. And if you think differently about some issue, God will reveal this to you as well. That is so powerful. In other words, guess what? The past does not define me. Only what I decide today that I'm going to do, because my todays make my tomorrows. Let me say that again. My todays make my tomorrows. Not yesterday. Yesterday is done. Yesterday is the rearview mirror. Some of you guys, you driving down the road of your life looking at the rearview mirror. The rearview mirror is the small mirror. It's only there for you to glance to see where you came from. It does not tell you where you're going. The windshield is much larger because it gives you clarity to see what's in front of you. The rearview mirror is small because it doesn't really matter. It's just showing you what was behind. It shows you where you came from, baby. It does not reveal where you're going. I don't care if you grew up in an abusive home. I don't care if you're coming out of an abusive relationship. I don't care if you grew up with some abusive parents or somebody who cussed you out and said you weren't going to be nothing. I don't care. I don't care. Here's my slogan. I told you guys I was going to give you my tip, and I'll close with this. You know why I don't care? Because I live by one simple principle, and I actually have a sister by this name, but we're going to use it as an acronym. K-I-M. K-I-M. I have a sister named Kim. You know what that Kim stand for? K-I-M? Keep it moving. Did you hear what I said? I don't give a darn what happened to you. I don't care what happened yesterday. I don't care. You deal with whoever you need to deal with in an appropriate manner. Handle whatever you need to handle in an appropriate manner. But then when it's over, it's over. Last week, if you didn't have a good trading week, that's okay. That's over. Nothing you do about it. Learn from it, rearview mirror that thing, and KIM that thing. Keep it moving. Let's do the Kim. Keep it moving, player. I love y'all. See you next week. And for my students, I'll see you on Tuesday.